Well, hello. I'm excited because we are slowly approaching Clear Off Your Desk Day. And I needed to bring in an expert and a woman who has I've interviewed in the past, Rashelle Isip, and she's the order expert. Am I saying the order expert, correct?
Yes, you are.
Yay! Because sometimes, the names and things. And, I wanted her to really kind of just share with us some strategies on how we can clear our desk in the new year. So, Rochelle, thank you so much for joining us.
Oh, thank you very much for having me. Pleasure
So,
to be here.
so before we get into all the details of how we clear our desk, what really made you decide you wanted to become a professional organizer?
Well, I've always loved organization and I've always loved helping people. So it just seemed like a natural fit. And I think the thing that really gets me motivated and, excited about this is to help people find a way for them to do just everyday regular tasks, but with, more ease, more flow, less stress. And I see myself as being that guide to help people, get through that chaos so that they can do what they need to do, so that they can bring them their best selves, to their professional life, to their personal life, to their home, to their volunteer, to their community, and really just, relieve that blockage so they can move forward.
And that is so important, especially in this new year, because people are just stressing out of all the stuff that didn't get accomplished last year. They're looking at their list for this year. So about the desk, because clear desk day, clear off your desk day. What are some of the things that we do that we just seem to clutter our desk with just stuff? So how does it happen? And really, what are some of the stuff we just have on our desk that we really shouldn't?
Right. Well, I think the first thing is that a desk traditionally was used at the office, right? Nowadays, we work from home, we work at the office. There's so many different uses and functions for the desk. And so that original intended purpose has kind of gotten blurred. And so with that, we might just inadvertently see a desk as, oh, it's an open space. It's something that I can put something down on, without giving thought to what the desk is used for. I like to give the example of when it comes to organizing a desk or basically anything in your house. It's kind of a task or how would you describe it? A task or a situation that doesn't necessarily mean, if I don't do this, this will happen. So let me give you an example. If you don't have food in the house, you need to go shopping, right? There's a cause and effect.
Hmm.
If you know that you're running out of clean clothes, you need to do the laundry, right? It's
That's
cause and effect. If you have a desk and it's getting more and more messy, well, it's not gonna, you know, you can still do work on it, but we don't, I think, necessarily put the value on, but I could do my work better or with less stress or frustration. It's kind of a maintenance and a make do.
That's a really good way of looking at it. I never thought about that, but you're right. It's like you just pile stuff on your desk and it really doesn't necessarily interfere sometimes with what you're doing. But like you said, with the clothes and the food, that's something it's like, oh, I need to take action on that. So what are some of the things that we can do in this new year to really help our desks be a little bit more clear so we can function a lot more effectively and efficiently?
Sure. So I think the first thing that people can do is to designate specific areas on your desk for items. So this can be anything from your files to your tablet, cell phone, your writing utensils, anything that you use, make sure that it has a place on the desk for when you're not using it. That's the most important thing. So you know that if I'm not using my computer keyboard, it goes here on the desk. That's where it stays. The second thing that people can do is to get what I like to call like a writing tablet, not a tablet, but in the old days it was called a blotter, like a writing pad or a desk mat. And that's just like a visual representation of your work area. And it can be helpful because it's no longer just a desk, but it's a specifically designated area. So you can use that as a visual guide. If there's books or office supplies or other things that are in this area where you're doing most of your work and you know you need to do some other work, then it's a clear sign that, wait a minute, I need to put those things away. So I have my workspace available to me. And then the third thing that people can do, and it's really simple and it doesn't take as much time as you think it will, is to just take a moment and put things away. It can be at the end of the day, before your meal times or at breaks, or when you're switching from task to task. Just take a break. It won't even take 5 minutes probably. And just, okay, moving on to this next segment in my day. Do I need to put anything back where it belongs?
Mm.
And, that regular routine, that's what's going to help you stay on track and stay organized.
Wow. I mean, I love your idea of the blotter because I used to have a huge blotter, but now I have a smaller one. But you're right. It kind of gives you a designated space and it really makes the desk look like a desk and you want to keep it clean. But then I also love the tip you shared in regards to just putting things away and clearing things up because really when you do have to come back, you're more focused on whatever it is you have to work on or really just starting your next workday. So I love those strategies. And they're really something, like you said, they can become a routine and just part of your workday.
Right. And that way you're not waiting for the emergency to happen. You're not waiting for you to run out of clean clothes or, running out of food. It's just the regular maintenance of, oh, okay, I need this. All right, let me prepare it. Let me set it aside. Let me have what I need, as opposed to I have to spend, all these hours straightening things up. Nope, just a few minutes every single day and you'll be on track.
And you're so right. You're so right. So, Rochelle, how do you stay organized? Because, you work with clients, but then also, you're running your business, you have your personal life. How do you manage to stay organized?
Well, I think the first thing that where it all begins is really in the mind. I'm very conscientious of where I'm putting my energies and what I want to work on. And giving yourself that time and that space, and to be honest with yourself, what is it that I need to do? What are the essentials, right, in my life? And then everything else comes after that. But consciously setting time aside every day, every week, every month to do a little review of where you're going with things, I think is very helpful. So, I like to review, my to-dos and things every day, sometimes at the top of every hour or so, just to see where I'm going with things. I'm very careful to think about where things are going as opposed to just reacting. I think that's really a key point, being intentional with where my energies are being put at any point in time.
Mm, that is so wonderful. So, how can people connect with you? Follow you, get some of the wonderful resources that you always have available, read your articles, read your blogs.
Sure. So they can find me at theorderexpert.com. And I have a free downloadable PDF guide there for people about how to manage your to-do list. So folks might find that helpful. You can also find me on LinkedIn under Rashelle Isip or The Order Expert.
And of course, listeners and those watching, all the links to how you can connect with Rashelle is listed below. Well, Rashelle, thank you so much for your time. It's always great to have a conversation with you about getting organized.
Yes, it is. It's one of my favorite topics ever. So happy to be here.